Everything you're going to need for the Moonbeam crossbody bag. First, you're going to start off by creating a magic loop by holding a long tail and creating a loop by crossing your yarn over itself. Then you're going to add 6 stitches. There's a lot of videos on YouTube about how to do a magic loop. If this video doesn't make sense, pause and go search some up on YouTube. There's so many that are so helpful. Once you have your 6 stitches, you're going to pull that tail really tight. This is going to create a half circle shape. From here, you're going to chain 1 and then turn your work, and you are going to work across your 6 stitches that you just made. You're going to make 1 into the first stitch by doing 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Then you're going to single crochet into the next stitch. You're going to repeat this pattern until you reach the end, making 1 and then single crochet 1. Now that you've reached the end of that round, you're going to chain 1, turn your work so that you can continue to work in the half moon shape. You're going to make 1 in the first stitch by again doing 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and then you're going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches. You're going to repeat this pattern of 3 stitches until you reach the end. Now that you've reached the end of this round, you're going to chain 1, turn your work so that you can continue working in the half moon shape. You're going to start off by again making 1 in the first stitch by single crocheting 2 in the same stitch, and then this time you're going to single crochet 3 stitches. You're going to continue this pattern until you reach the end of the round, making 1 and then single crocheting 3 stitches. You're going to continue this pattern by chaining 1 at the end, turning your work, so that you can continue working in the half moon shape. You'll start off by making one in the first stitch, doing 2 single crochets in that first stitch, and then this time you're going to single crochet 4 stitches. Then you'll continue this pattern by making one and then doing 4 more stitches single crochet. You're going to continue this process by making one and then increasing each single crochet by 1 per round until you reach make 1 single crochet 8 stitches until the end. Now that you have finished, you are going to bind off this half moon shape, and then you are going to repeat steps 1 through 9 to complete the other side of the half moon shape. Instead of binding off for the second one, you're actually going to work across the top row to create a finished look. So you're just going to go in and single crochet across, and it might not be perfect. I did not count the amount of stitches that I made. I just went in and looked at where it made sense to stick my needle. Now again, we are not going to bind off, and we are going to pick up the other crescent moon shape and put them together. From here, we are going to connect the half moon shapes together by single crocheting into both sides of the half moon shapes like this. And we are going to continue doing this all the way around the crescent moon shape. Once you reach the other side, you are going to work across the unfinished edge of the other side of the crescent bag, and you are going to just create that nice finish across the top. And now that we've completed the second edge, we are going to single crochet 4 stitches. These will be the base of your bag. Once you've single crocheted 4 stitches, you're going to chain 1 and then turn your work, and you are going to single crochet in the back loop only of your stitch across all 4 stitches. And then as you reach the end, you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to turn your work and continue doing this until your strap measures your desired length. One note is when you're measuring your bag strap, make sure to stretch it, because as you wear it and put things in your bag and hang it up, it's going to stretch and you don't want it to be too long. Once you've reached your desired length, you're going to bind off, leaving a long tail, and you're going to use a darning needle to sew the strap to the other side of the bag, using front loop only on both sides and making sure that the strap is not twisted. This is key because you don't want it to look funky after you've already sewn it on. You can see here I'm lining it up with the very edge of the bag, and then I'm going into the front loop of that stitch right there, and I'm going to continue doing that across all of the stitches, and then I'm going to work on the back end and also do front loop only. So this is where you're going to turn the work around, and you're going to do the same thing on the other side of the strap just to really secure it there. And now that you've finished it, you're just going to weave in that end and make sure it's secure in there and it's not going anywhere. Now your last step is you're going to take all of those loose ends and you're going to weave them in and then cut any extra length you've got. And now your bag is all done. Make sure to tag us at Textile.